Okay.
Make the motion to accept it.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't want to second my own minutes, so let's do that.
Motion to approve the minutes as presented. And second. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. All right. Now we'll go on to 17-18 municipal operating budget development and review. And Keith?
Yes, I'd just like to go through, I left some things on the agenda that were more housekeeping than really presentations. The first one would be under 1104, under professional services. The new sheet that I believe is in your packet, I spoke to the attorney, and we reduced the legal budget from 40,000 to 30,000. And as part of that, I also increased in that the mapping and GIS. As you recall, those were going to be new items that we were going to add to the budget. The upgrade of the tax maps was last completed in 2014, and we were going to do the Vision web hosting, which would then allow people to go online to get our tax information. So that was added to that 1104 budget. And so it gave us a new total of $73,536, which still is a little bit less than the previous year of $75,856.
Okay.
Let's see, under
There she is.
I texted you.
Yes, I got.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
under 12.
Thank you.
Under 1203, under Town Hall Administration, I bumped the budget to 93,922 from 93,622. Staff indicated to me that I should have added another $300 to the office supply line instead of 6,000. They initially felt it was 6,300. We seem to be running a little low on that budget, so they thought the 300 would be appropriate. Under 1205 administration, I had a budget number in there of $417,084, and I was wondering why I was so high in terms of the budget from the previous year. And what I discovered is that I neglected to, I doubled the general administration salary line in that line. So when I removed it and put it into its general administration line, it brought the budget back to $348,144. The $348,144 covers the administration of the town hall and the salaries that are associated with it. In addition, it also includes the 20 hours that I've built in for the part-time clerk's position. If you recall, Simone's wishing now to transition out of full-time employment, and we are beginning the process of hiring a part-timer to fill in and work with her until she transitions. So that's been built into that budget.
Salaries are covered under that line item.
The salaries under that line item would be the town manager, the clerk, the deputy clerk, the deputy treasurer, as well as the part-time. I have them listed there,
Yeah.
so they provide it to you. Here on this 1205, and then you have the large sheet in the back, which gives you the overall budget proposal of positions and how it breaks down. Should be the last 2 pages of the packet that I provided to you. cross-section like this. It's got the positions and what's being proposed, and then all the FICA, Medicare, retirement, life, short-term, long-term, short-term disability, dental, and health. Gives you a total package for each position. That's all been built back into the budget, reflective of that, so if people ask specific questions, we can ask them.
And this reflects Simone going to part-time this year?
No, what it reflects a full-time position there for her position, plus the extra hours to reflect the part-time. So if you look at it, it says town clerk, tax collector, $64,235. And actually, she would be paid $55,307 as a full-time employee. And then the remaining balance, what I did is, I may have to break it down so you look at it more effectively. What I did is she's basically set at 40 hours, so I took the 8 hours that she isn't going to get paid, and then added on the additional hours that I needed to make up the difference for a 20-hour employee at $19 an hour for that part-time position. What I'll do is I'll add it to the budget sheet so you can actually clearly see it, so you know it's there.
Can you also add the 2016 salaries?
Yes, I
So
can.
that we know what the,
I can provide you last year's
I
sheet.
know I've got it somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, that might be good to look at.
Right now, the only adjustments I've made there is 2%, plus the 7 cents an hour for the employees based on the personnel policy. So that's what's built into that budget at this point. And that was based on the consumer price index in the Northeast. I made the adjustment accordingly there. Then what I did then, and I tracked it with the MMA salary survey that I had done, giving us a salary range, which is built into that, so you can look at that and see what the overall salary range is statewide, and then how we compare to that. We have some that are above it, some that are, below, some that are right in there. Based on longevity, a lot of our long-term employees are either at the top or over that top range at this time. The other thing is I gave you another 1403 miscellaneous, and it was a separate sheet that I gave tonight. It was a standalone sheet. And I got it in late in this process. On the 21st of February, I received a letter from the Kennebunk Free Library looking for, instead of $12,000, for $14,000. So that separate sheet provides that additional $2,000 for you folks to look at and decide what you want to do. Their letter to me indicated that in 2016, the number of Arundel residents with library cards increased by 27%. We project that we will be approximately 600 Arundel library card holders by the start of FY18. So, and then they indicated to me the other programs and activities that they provide to Arundel families. Arundel families attend a multitude of children's programs ranging from peekaboo babies to preschool story time. They have an outreach program which includes the Mildred Day School, daycares, homes, and nursery school programs also in Arundel. So they provide services to those groups as well.
Discuss that now?
You can discuss it now.
Because I would make a motion that we keep it at 12,000.
Motion made and seconded to keep that at 12,000. Discussion.
I totally disagree. I think we have to say increase to 14. Residents of Kennebunk earn $400,000 to $500,000 annually from tax bill, and I think our contribution is very small for 4,000 people. I also use the library a lot, so I'm gracious.
What's it cost for someone right off the street to go in and buy can you purchase a library card at Cambridge Level?
You can.
What's it cost?
I don't know the answer, but I think around $20.
When we were forced to do that a few years ago,
Right.
when we chose not to pay, the library card was $35.
Oh, it was 35, okay.
Mine is from Kennebunkport and it costs $0. Anyone can go to Kennebunkport.
That's right,
Get a
yeah.
library card, there's no
Yep.
charge. And I understand Bedford's the same way.
Now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do not generate $2,000 worth of goodwill, exactly. Coming across as cheapskates. So, that's what I think.
We got a motion made and seconded for 12,000 for the Kennebunk Free Library.
Is this a standalone item, Warren?
Yes,
It is,
it
okay.
is. Yeah, it will be broken out and it'll be a standalone.
Yeah, it's not gonna be in this, yeah, okay.
No, we just frame it there for budget purposes, but yes.
You usually vote on each one of these as separate, right?
Yeah, that one, we lumped the Eastern Trail together.
All the social
And
services.
social service agencies, we need to go over those tonight too.
And then the
Chamber, Chamber's at 25.
It's been at 25.
Yeah, that hasn't changed. So, and those will all be independent articles.
Need any further discussion in regards to the Kennebunk Free Library?
Just keep in mind, you can't increase an amount when you work on a code, you can only decrease. So if you wanna give citizenry an opportunity to be persuaded by Jack that $2,000 is a good idea, you gotta leave it at 14. And then Dan can make his motion to reduce it as well.
It's a pretty small change. in the overall scheme of things.
It is, but, you know, I think everybody tries to maintain as flat a budget as possible, and, you know, every year these folks are always, you know, they want more.
Right, that's what I was gonna say.
And, you know,
Seems like a minimal increase now, but I feel like every year they've asked for more and more money, so what, if we,
We never give them one. We
Wow.
always say,
but we stay.
Especially when
well, I
they just
think-
show up to the town meeting that one time and the town turn around and go, you're getting nothing.
Well, they shot themselves in the foot that year.
yeah, that was, yeah.
I don't know what the expense was in 13-14, but since 15, obviously it's been.
Yeah, one of those years was 0.
It was 10 at one year,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
10, one of those years, and then the other year was 0, and then 0, and I don't think people realized.
Okay.
When they did the vote, they realized that they ended up getting nothing, but. I'm not gonna scroll over the $2,000, but it's just a principle of it, I'm gonna stick with my 4,000.
So do you, anyone wanna, everyone ready to vote then, in regards to that? 'Cause we got-
Did you get a motion in a second?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think Tom has a good point that this can't be raised at the town meeting. And we haven't given them a raise. I mean, I'm looking back 3 years, it's been a steady 12. I think perhaps, you know, if we're gonna support them, perhaps.
So it's been 3 years now,
Do-
at 12?
Well, what I'm looking at here, Jeff.
Sounds right. to
Yeah,
me.
fiscal year 15, 16, and 17 was $12,000 right across. So I kind of support the idea of going 14 and see what happens to it at the town meeting if they want to cut it back there.
Well, we got a motion made, seconded for 12,000. All those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4. All those opposed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the motion shot down. You
What we
want-
go to 14,000 and what the voters decide. I'll second that.
Second that? All right. Motion made, seconded to increase that, for the Kingbook Free Library to 14,000. All those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All those opposed? 4. Motion passes to increase it to 14,000.
We're changing places.
I know.
Well, sitting here.
We need to spread ourselves out so we
Yeah.
look like
Yeah.
more when we're all clumped together. It's not as effective.
While we're still on that sheet, you down at the bottom, you can see our social service agencies that have been listed. What I wanna do is that we still have some, of our traditional requests have not yet come in. Don't ask me why. We have 3 that haven't come in. But I do want to take you down to the new requests that we received. There were 3 of them that I received this year. The first one was for Lifeline for $1,006. The American Red Cross is asking for $250. And Maine Public Radio, Television, and Online Services is asking for $100. So I guess what I want to do is find out what your pleasure is with the 3 new requests, and I'm not sure what position, if any, both respective boards have taken in terms of adding new social service agencies to the list.
So Lifeline. Yeah.
Right.
Basically, if there's a severe accident,
Yeah,
and someone's,
it's, the helicopter.
right.
Why 1,006?
There was I should have my red sheet here, there's a prorated sheet that they put together, and they
Based
requested
on
it
population.
based on
population.
that,
But are you saying that are they saying that if the town didn't put that in, that they wouldn't?
No, they're not saying that at all. I think they're just looking for additional revenue sources. I think that service is just flies along as best it can at this time.
I know, good
Yeah.
one, good one.
Yeah,
$1,000 will get you 2.5 minutes in the air.
yeah.
I
I
don't
think
really use it, to be honest.
that's-
Yeah, Southern Maine Medical,
We
right?
got a landing pad at Southern Maine now, we never call from direct anymore.
Okay.
Red Cross, on the other hand, I totally agree. I wish it was more money, because those guys come out in the crappiest of conditions, and
Yeah, they're everywhere.
they are everywhere.
We could bump that up if we wanted.
Right.
How much do they have?
$250. I'll tell you, they spend that in one sitting. That's a phenomenal group of people, the Red Cross.
Then you had Maine Public Radio at $100. So. I don't we've got community outreach services that traditionally we've given 2,000. They haven't asked for anything yet. Maine Behavioral Health Care for $550. They haven't asked for anything yet. And Day One Services, they haven't asked for anything. So I'm not quite sure what you want to do. I typically do not reach out to these people and ask them to provide me their
Well,
list of what
COF
they
should be
request.
sending theirs in. I mentioned it to them, I don't know why they haven't yet.
Okay,
I know
Who is it, Jeff?
Community Outreach
Community
Services.
outreach services.
They do a lot, specifically out of the school and for this school,
okay,
for Mildred Day, for the backpack program, the lunches, like a lot of stuff for the kids that are in need, and families that are in need. But I don't know why they haven't sent in their letter yet, because I
Okay.
reminded her, but she's been in and out of the hospital, so I don't know. If
Okay.
That might be part of it, I don't know. I can reach out to her tomorrow.
I think we still got some time, but I guess the point I was trying to make, I don't generally reach
Yeah.
out to them, I didn't know if you wanted me to see if they're interested. Typically, when you do that, they all come out of woodwork and they, you know,
Yeah.
they'll come forward with all kinds of requests, so. I think, I leave it up to them to have the initiative to
No.
step forward and ask.
Normally, we only go with the ones that Wendy uses or that, as you said, the Red Cross, somebody that the fire department uses. And if we don't use Life Flight, Maine Public Radio usually sends out their request for funding. I don't think we've ever had them before, and I can't see using them for social services.
So I would say that we don't entertain Life Flight, but we bump up Red Cross a little bit. We give the Red Cross.
Add Red Cross
And we bump
and
up
eliminate the other
500
two
or
at this point.
750 or something like that, you know. It's definitely a good, no doubt, Red Cross.
I would tend to agree with you there. In fact, I suggest we double that.
I was gonna say, put a one on the bottom and knock out Life Flight.
Either that or just change our total from 8550 to 9,000 and,
Make up the difference, whatever it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
That
Yeah,
makes
that
sense.
seems.
yeah,
Bump the grand total to 9,
9,000.
whatever the others, they come in. So that would at least, if everybody came in as usual, then it would bump it another by 450.
450, so instead of getting 250, they get 450.
Just
They
keep,
get 7.
keep in mind, don't go by that 8550, because some of them have increased.
Some
Like,
of
if you
them
look
have asked,
through,
yeah.
You know what I mean, so I think you're above the 9,000 already, if everybody submits.
Are these 2015
So
numbers?
you've got, what, 2550 plus,
They're
Just in that column.
The numbers over to the far right under
so you got
2018.
2950 on top of that,
Are
64.
2018 numbers. The ones that I have under, if you followed it up to 2015, are actually 2017.
2017, right.
So you're at 9507 already, if everybody submitted.
So should we round it up to even 10,000?
Well,
Does that
I
not,
mean, let's just pick a number for Red Cross, let's give Red Cross some number, and then, you know, between now and the next meeting, you ought to be able to walk off and whoever comes in, and if they don't come in by the next meeting, then.
Well, I think what you can do also is that, you know, like Jason has said, like Caring Unlimited has asked for 1207, in the past we've given them 900. Do you want to continue to leave it at 9? I'm not hearing any objections, so I'll leave it at 9.
And so then, Southern Maine Aging.
Southern Maine Aging, they ask for 1,000, they generally get 700. You want to leave it at 700?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I kind of feel with like Southern Maine Agency on Aging and the Veterans Cemetery. We do have an aging population. I was thinking maybe we can increase the aging and veterans to maybe 800 apiece.
The Southern Maine Veterans Cemetery Association was new last year. So we added that 750 last year based on their request,
Do you know
so
what they added last year? I mean, what they asked for last year?
750.
That's what they asked for?
We gave them what they asked for.
What are they doing here in town?
They,
Is this the thing over in New
No.
Sanford or
it's,
something?
no, it's over in
Sanford, yeah.
Sanford, it's on the Sanford Shapley line. It's the new veterans cemetery that the state developed. I don't know if they did it with any state money or it was purely veterans money, but
I believe it was state.
I think they had some state funds in there.
I haven't been in there, I've been by it, my daughter lives up the road from me, so I've been by it numerous times, but I've never been in, so.
I just
I'm
know
hoping
that.
not to.
I just know that a few of the veterans that I know that have passed away recently, they're buried there.
Yeah.
I have to, full disclosure, I'm with the American Legion down in Kennebunkport, so, you know, I like to be supportive of the vets as much as
Sure.
possible.
I would tend to support that, an increase.
So
This
what's
year.
what's your pleasure?
An increase from last year, not necessarily the amount
Okay.
they're asking for. I'd suggest,
Yeah,
So 800 for both of them.
yeah,
You wanna go 800 with Southern Maine Agent and Cemetery Association?
Yeah.
Okay?
sounds good.
That brings it to 8,700 based on last year's.
And we're gonna move Life Flight out.
Yes.
We're gonna take Maine Public Radio out.
yeah.
And what are we gonna do for Red Cross? We're gonna move them in as a group that we're gonna donate to? You wanna move it to 500?
I would agree to just move it to a sum of a certain amount, I would say 500 seems.
Okay. So hearing strong objections, I'll put that together and put it in your next
That'll give you
spreadsheet
what?
so you have it.
Not, it would give you 9,200 if the others come in with their previous year.
You give the others the same amount. Do we have a history of what we've given them in the past in a couple of years?
Yes. It would be in the, it'll be in the town report, but I think we break it down in there, I'm not quite sure. If not, I have it in the budget sheets. Would you like to see that, Dan?
I'll look at what
Okay, so just so we're clear on how much is going to each outfit, we're giving 1,600 to York County Community Action.
Yep,
We're giving 1,200 to visiting nurses.
yep.
We're keeping community outreach at 2,000.
If they ask for
If
it.
they ask for it.
Yeah,
they
they
ask
should be
for it.
sending a letter, and they're certainly not gonna ask for more.
Okay. We're giving Maine Behavioral Health 550 if they ask for it.
If they ask.
200 going to Caring Unlimited.
No.
Kids
Not
free
yet.
to grow.
Kids free to grow.
Kids free to grow.
It's free to grow, I'm sorry,
Right.
okay,
That's if they ask.
if they ask for it.
They
okay.
have asked for it.
Yeah,
And Caring Unlimited, 1,207,
to 900.
that's back to 900.
Correct.
Day one, what did we decide on that one?
If they're
400 if they request it.
If they request it, okay. And then Southern Maine Agency on Aging, we're looking at 800, 800 for Southern Maine Vets. York County Shelters, we're keeping it 250.
Yeah.
And then we're adding Red Cross for 500.
Right.
And another 100,000 for detox center. You think I'm kidding?
I got a cheap solution for that.
Coming, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they will be this year?
That'll be part of
Debating
it.
it right now as part of the county budget proposal.
Shortly.
Yeah. Once, I don't have that county number. The county tax number I show you under 2018 is actually last year's number. So when I get the new number, I'll update the sheet.
You chose.
The other thing before we get to the rec department is that the public works sheet that I provided to you in your packet, I updated the number after your discussion with the public works director. It went from 700 and some change, and we moved it to 704,689 based on that discussion.
And that's up 2.4.
It's down.
Yeah, 2.4%.
Oh, it went up from 61, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
704, yeah, that's 2.4. Which is just about cover salaries and,
Yeah, it was 705,34, and we moved it to 704,689.
Yeah, the only difference whether it was salaries and building maintenance.
Correct.
Anything else, Keith?
Just Jen. Jen's here. She will go over her budget, if you'd like. Her budget's up a bit. The previous year was 223,812. Right now, we're at 639,410. 369, which is just under a 7% increase in that budget. We're anticipating this year to collect $160,000 in rec revenue. She's here to answer questions. Primarily, and I'll start, and she can weigh in obviously, primarily with the minimum wage increase. We've had to build into that not only increases in the minimum wage for some of our rec employees, but also build into that employees who have longevity with us that have worked part-time, that to both of us, we didn't feel that we're gonna hire somebody at $9 an hour and have somebody who's worked for us stay at like $9.25 and $9.50, who's had vast amount of experiences. So I think we took the position that we bumped them $1.50 per position. So we kept the status quo, so to speak. And that's reflective of some of the changes within the part-time wage piece under this budget. In addition, we know that we're gonna have to increase rec fees as a result of the increase. So that's why we're anticipating more rec revenue at $160,000 this year, because the fees to participate in the program will rise as a result of the change.
Can you tell us about the fee increases that are projected?
Sure. So what I did was I took $1.50 an hour for each employee, each rec employee. They work 40 hours a week in the summer, for instance. There are 12 of them. Figure out what that is, and then you figure out, you know, how much more you need to bring in summer rec revenue to cover those additional staffing fees.
Yeah, I was thinking about the other end in terms of what programs will have what increases.
It will
Have you laid that out yet?
It primarily will be summer rec and the before and after school program. Those are the two programs with paid staff that will affect.
What's the increase from summer rec for last year for the schedule that the parents pay?
So it was $680 a child last year for 8 weeks, and this year it will be $715.
8 weeks?
Yes.
And does that cost go down if you have more than one child?
It does not. That was something that the rec department did before I took this job, and when I came in, I was advised to stop doing that because it cost the town the same amount of money for each child, no matter if they're a part of the same family or not. So that was something the Board of Selectmen, decided 14 years ago, and I've never gone back.
Do you still have a fund so that if a parent has 2 or 3 children, that you have a fund to help them pay for that?
There is a scholarship fund, and the way the
Scholarship
scholarship fund works is they have to provide some degree of family contribution. There has to be a financial commitment from the family for it to be considered.
Does that go through Wendy?
It goes through Wendy and I, and usually the school nurse or a school social worker, something like that. The 3 of us review it.
So I know you talked a little bit about the wage increase, but $12,000 increase in the part-time help, the salary?
That's year-round, yep. We have Lori, who runs the before and after school program for us. And it didn't seem fair to leave her rate where it was. You know, if somebody who was in high school with absolutely no experience, who comes in basically to help with homework for the kids, is making $9.50 an hour. So we bumped her, we bumped everybody by $1.50 an hour to make it fair. For instance, I have a summer bus driver who was working for $11.14 an hour, which is low for a bus driver. Bus drivers are usually in the $15 to $20 range, really. But she works for us at that rate, and if you've got a high school kid making $9.50 an hour, it doesn't seem fair to be paying a bus driver $11.14 an hour, so we bumped everybody $1.50 an hour.
How many total part-time employees?
We have 12 during the summer, and then during the school year, we have 3. for 8 weeks, they're full-time employees for 8 weeks. And it's actually more like 9 because we do, training days and then we do trips before and after summer rec begins. So we're looking at more like 9 weeks at full-time. And then we have Lori at 32 hours a week. And then we have, Missy's about 25 hours a week and Bree is more like 10 to 15.
Question, how many kids, Jen, do you enroll?
In the summer rec program, we have 100 kids usually.
100 kids?
And during the school year for the before and after school program, I can give you an exact number, but we have about 35 to 40 kids a day after school, and in the morning we have anywhere between 12 to 25.
So bottom line, your budget's up about 16 grand, and you anticipate 15 additional revenue.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at, you know, what revenue, you know, how much of that bump up are you making with your revenue? It doesn't look like you're making it all.
No, we're not. We have to be honest with you at this point now.
Well, I don't think we ever have. I think we've always figured that labor costs are going to be more than,
Right, but I think our ultimate goal is at some point, you know, we'd like to be able to be in a position where it's
It's a lot.
it's a little bit more money coming in.
We've
Just
been
not
selling,
getting-
but we sell that to the public, when the public comes in and they ask questions, we sell that, hey, you know, so, I mean, we really wanna be sure that we have what the true cost of the public is gonna be. I mean, some people will be able to do the numbers, but we don't have them in the back of our heads, you know.
how does our cost compare to the other towns at Kennybunk?
We're a pretty high percentage of what we bring in for revenue. And generally, it's more than is anticipated. Programs grow every year in a way that you can't count on when you're budgeting. But within the last couple of years, I've made it to within $12,000 to $15,000 bottom line cost of the town for the department, including all the staffing and everything else.
Yeah.
How many more departments in town do that?
I would say not too
No, I mean, obviously, for
Not many are
obvious reasons, some
structured
of
to
them
do
don't, but
that.
I'm just
I mean,
saying.
this is a
Sure.
program that's structured to do that. I mean, you
Right.
can't say that Public Works was fixing our roads is supposed to make us money, you know,
No.
like that's
Right,
totally a
we- I-
different scenario.
I was assuming you meant other rec departments, Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, you could,
Yeah.
I
And
was
what
gonna
does
say, you
Kennybunk
could start
charge for
charging at
summer
the
rec?
traffic light or something.
We're all about in the same
You're all about the
ballpark.
same, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Does Kennebunkport have a, or is it all Kennybunk, or is it like the,
Nope, Kennebunkport does their own. We're all structured a little bit differently, but the bottom line fee is about the same. Kennebunkport does it a little bit differently than Kennebunk and Arundel do. We keep our costs down by offering 3 options. They can sign up for 1 week, they can sign up for 4 weeks, or they can sign up for 8 weeks. It's a little bit more expensive to sign up for 4 weeks, you know, in terms of a weekly fee, and more if you're signing up for just 1 week. Kennybunk does it that way too. That keeps costs down. You set up at the beginning of the season, this is how many kids I'm gonna have, this is how much I need for staff. You book all your trips, you know how many kids you're gonna have, how much it's gonna cost you. Kennybunk does it the same way. Less overhead, less administrative work. Kennebunkport does, you know, you can sign up for a day here or a day there. And it's like, you pay a 1 fee, and then if you're going on a field trip, you pay the fee for the field trip. And, you know, that, I think, takes a lot of administrative time to straighten out how many kids you have, and do you need extra staff that day, and just, it takes the focus off the quality of the program in terms of how I would be able to do it, so.
how's the computer program working?
Oh my God, it's so awesome. I could give you any figure you want, any program, what our, you know, what we brought in for revenue. It's great, all of my fingertips.
Do you run up against families with lots of kids who really struggle to have the need but can't afford it?
Not so much. You know, occasionally we do, and I direct them to the scholarship fund, and, but I don't hear about it too much. I think that families who have multiple children, you know, either there's a parent at home or there are grandparents that help, that sort of thing. I find that there are a lot of families that are helping their children. and
So we
grandchildren.
hopefully aren't shutting out people out.
No, we don't shut anybody out if they come to us for help. We make sure they get what they need. Yeah, there are other services besides our scholarship fund. There are churches and outreach programs and other
Community outreach
resources.
service is certainly like a go-to for that kind of thing too.
Absolutely.
And I know that they have funded some children to
Yes, they have.
participate in rec programs.
Yep, so I know what the resources are, and if we don't have it all to cover ourselves, then I direct them into other places, and I can't say that I can think of any that haven't worked out.
What are other services here? You've got $40,000 which for other services.
That is, that's field trip fees, you know, supplies, before and after school programs, snacks, pencils, erasers, you know, everything that's not, it doesn't qualify as an office expense or, you know, health insurance or whatever. Those are our operating fees.
The bus is running well.
The bus is running well, yes. Yeah.
It's a good service, but big bump.
Well, that minimum wage law caused a lot of problems everywhere.
Sure did. And unfortunately, the parents who are making minimum wage now have to pay more for the program. They might be making more money, but they gotta pay more in childcare services because all the childcare.
But net, it's not a big buck, it's $1,000.
I know, it's $1,000.
In net, it's $1,000.
It's $1,000 jump difference in last
With the
year.
tax rate about 500.
And I would also.
Net is off.
No, it's not.
No, it's
No, when you look at
39,365 for 2018, and for 2017, it came out to be 30, actually, it's
15,000,
no, 145, 223,812 minus 145. And actually, you're not done yet,
Yeah.
Right.
so that could even go up even higher.
Right, do you know what I
And
came
then,
in at
and
last
and
year?
Jen, Jen brought up a great point, is on average, how much do you, how close to, you're close to like, you're within 15 to 12,000, right, every year?
Not every year. I don't know what I finished at last year. But I was out last year for a long time, and there were some programs that were cut when I wasn't here to run
Right.
them after the car accident.
So not looking at last year, but previous years, let's just say in the previous year.
I would say between 15 and 25,000, but that's
I mean-
guess.
Yeah.
That's without looking at numbers.
I don't know.
I think you're pretty accurate. I mean, I looked at the numbers, they're pretty well $12,000 to $15,000.
Yep. It's pretty.
My argument is, and I'll go back to what we started the night off with, is that if we're gonna give Kennebunk Free Library $12,000, I certainly can see $12,000 for the rec program that's gonna benefit a lot more of this community.
Yeah.
And that's not just the kids, that's parents, the grandparents that have to be there, when the kids can't be, parents can't be there, all that stuff. I mean, you're just adding an invaluable service.
I don't disagree, but it's a great service, absolutely. I'll make sure that.
How much extra would you have to charge each family to make up the $553 that were in the hole? Which might put dams.
I was adding the numbers wrong.
Dan just wants his mind set, so when somebody comes up with a question at town meeting, you get an answer.
That's right. Well, that's what
We
we
have
need to
watchdogs.
answer. Yes, we do.
Right? We know who they are.
We sure do.
And they have the same question every year, but. Jen, the 4,000 for software, is that just license fees?
That's the software that we use, the MyRec software, those are the annual fees. And they, not just licensing fees, but, you know,
Updates.
all right, so the data, it's broken down. The basic system with online registration is $28.95 a year, and then you have data entry modules, cloud usage, domain name registration, annual SSI fee, PCI compliance. That's it. And I actually just found a way to save money on MyRec. I saved us about $500 a year, which isn't huge, but.
Yes,
Yeah, so it-
Moving on.
It's based on the revenue that we bring in through the system, and they charge you a percentage as opposed to a set fee, so that saved us $500.
Do you guys have any more questions for Jen at this point?
So next year, we should be in a much better better position, we won't have to go up so much with the salary.
Just $1
Just
next
$1,
year instead of $1.50.
And it keeps going up until 2020?
Yep, we got 3 more years.
Unless the page figures out where we can cut it off.
That,
I think we're all set with 1901.
Yep.
1903, just keeping that the same at 6250,
correct.
the rec bus reserve.
That,
Never gonna break down, is it?
yeah. Well, we do put a little money aside to take care of it, if it does break down. The 6250 is put in the capital reserve fund, so when the time comes, we need to buy another one. And we have some money there to buy, and then the payment and all the other things.
What's in there now for that fund?
You would have to ask me that.
Well, we just bought one last year.
Yeah, I think there's,
Shouldn't be a
there's less than 6250. We used some of last year's funding to
Yeah.
pay for it. I think there's like $500 to $600 in there right now. So that's actually your first blush throughout the whole budget. We wrapped up with rec tonight, and you've had your first review of the entire thing, so.
I know Tom's gonna ask about this. I'm gonna vote for the,
Please.
Yep.
for, do you wanna just do the rec or,
Well,
so, cause there's still some others that are floating around like with the,
we didn't finish fire and rescue, right? No.
but we're still waiting to get some responses in
But
regards to
what are you
community
looking for
services.
specifically from them at this point? 'Cause I don't recall, and I wanna make sure that we can get wrapped up.
The chief was gonna look into some numbers, is that right?
I wasn't at that meeting.
Yeah, his capital expenses, he was gonna review with his officers.
Okay.
Like in regards to the airbags, the,
Yeah, there's a couple items there we knew he wanted to buy,
building maintenance.
Yes.
I've looked at the roof and the siding, I mean, it needs to be done,
It does.
yeah.
Okay.
And well, half the roof needs to be done, but why on earth would we do half the roof?
Will it
And
have
I
to
still
be
do it
done,
all, you know?
will it have to be done in this budget cycle,
No.
or can we wait?
No, I think you could get probably 2 or 3 more years out of it, but I would definitely put it on the burner.
Okay.
Should be on his
Oh, yeah.
plan.
Yeah.
Put
And
money
how about the
aside.
siding,
The side, I think you're gonna start running into those same issues we ran into on the back, where it's
rotten wood?
not flashed right, where the wood meets the brick.
Okay.
And unfortunately, you're not gonna know it until something comes up inside and.
Right,
That's
like
what-
we did on that back wall, I mean, it was a disaster when they opened it up, I couldn't believe it, so. Okay. So we got the budget item, the building maintenance items, the capital expenses for the fire, that we need to get over that again.
And did he provide you guys with like a 5-year capital
Yep.
plan? He did, okay.
Yep. I sent that to you, didn't I?
Yeah, maybe, but I wasn't at that meeting and I didn't.
You asked for it, and I thought I provided it to
He
you.
doesn't pay attention to your emails,
No,
so.
I couldn't make the meeting, I didn't print it out and.
It would be my intent, unless I hear strong objections, to have another meeting and at that time, provide to you a draft warrant with numbers on there. Then we can go, you know, we
Go
can,
through them.
I can show you what you've already voted on.
Public
What have
works,
you
I think
agreed to?
we could knock out, right?
Yep.
You added changes.
Yep,
That's
I
what
added the
rest of
changes
them
to Public
over there,
Works,
right?
and he's all set with that.
We can make a motion to approve public works and rec
And rest.
tonight.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah,
Motion made, and seconded to approve Public Works and Rec, and Public Works, just so I can get the. Public Works now it's now 704, 689, 1501. And for Rec Department, we are 239, 365. All those in favor?
Actually, rec,
Oh,
Yeah, I was
we're at
gonna say,
245.
do the bus too.
Include that bus too.
And include 1903 recreational bus reserve for 6250. All those in favor? All those opposed? There are none. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie. You know,
How do you like your new office, by the way?
I know. I've never had a real office before.
Pretty nice.
It's great, yeah, it is. Yep. Thanks a lot.
thanks, we'll see you
Night.
later. 1403, we may be able to wrap that up tonight too. You've already sort of approved your social services. You've given me a total that I can go up to. Eastern Trail, at 5,000, Eastern Trail maintenance at 3 gives you a total of $8,000. The Kennebunk Port Arundel Chamber at 2,500. The only thing that's really outstanding that's very questionable there would be the county tax piece, and I don't know that yet. But we don't have a lot of control over it, and it doesn't end up on our budget per se when it comes to approving at town meeting. So, what's your pleasure there? Are you all okay with those 1403 accounts at this point?
As we amended tonight, right?
Yeah.
With all the additions.
I will make those additions tonight or tomorrow. I'll make sure you guys get fresh copies.
What, do you have a number, John? In regards to 1403?
Well,
Not yet, because we're gonna make a few,
We don't have a county tax.
yeah.
Okay.
We're looking at right here, if the county tax remains unchanged, we're looking at 296, 161.
right.
I'm sure that's something we changed somewhere.
294, 161.
Yeah, but you added some money too.
We added 2,000 to the Kennebunk free line, and we
Right.
bring it up to 296, 161.
290, oh, exactly, yeah, yeah.
All right, so I got a motion made,
I'll second that.
and second. All those in favor of approving 1403 as amended? All those that oppose, there are none, motion passes.
And we already approved the professional services instead.
Yes,
Last time, right?
I already,
With the reduction in.
with the reductions, and I added those pieces in there for you. I mean, anything could be revisited, but
Right.
obviously, if we can get ahead of it, then we want to.
Well, is this a good time to talk about a second police officer and get that out of the way too?
Yeah, can we just real quickly, what did we approve tonight? We did
Public Works.
we do 1104?
Yeah, that's what,
Yeah.
we did do that.
You did do 1104. We've done 1101, 1102, 1103, 1104, we've done them all. Either tonight or the previous night.
Yeah, right, I'm just looking what we did tonight.
Okay.
The first one, we grouped a bunch of them in, right? And we wanted to make sure we get them written down. 1203? We did, right? Town hall. 1205. 1503. 1501.
No, I was just gonna suggest that maybe this would be a good time to take a look at whether or not we're gonna hire a second police officer, and that this is a fairly short meeting, and if we can get that one out of the way too. Want us to
You have information?
Well, really nothing new in that context, but Monday morning I went up with 8 other people from the county, including the sheriff and the jail superintendent, to meet with the woman who is now the Speaker of the House. And the purpose of the meeting was to get her on board with our feelings with regard to legislation that will make the jail operation more efficient and ideally less costly. That was the objective of the meeting. And talking with the sheriff, he's, you know, obviously very much for having a second officer in the town. And I've talked to a couple other people in town too, who are very much in favor of a second officer, particularly if it's possible to have contractually some level of control over when they work, so that they're out there during the hours when the bad boys and girls are doing their thing. And it turns out that the town of Waterboro has done exactly that they have, in their contract, put in language that enables them, to a degree, to obtain services where you don't have 24/7 service, but to focus on the hours when you most need, or most likely to need assistance. So,
We have that today, though, right? I mean, we can ask them to work different hours.
We can if we'd like, yeah.
yeah, but it.
There's never been objectionable to that.
It spreads it, if you have two, over obviously more of the week. But, I didn't know that could be done, but I was assured that it can be, and has been done by the sheriff. So, and the county manager also reinforced that as well. So just food for thought if we move in that direction. That's about it.
What's the bottom line? What's that do to our?
To our bottom line,
Yeah,
with having the extra cruiser included, I'm coming up with a mill rate of $15.51. And I could take that out. Keep that up to 90. And reduce the cruiser with what we're on to 0. That would bring this down to 15.22. Now, that's assuming some other things stay the same, like, you know, business equipment tax and all of that kind of thing.
That's what, 29 cents? What was it, 51?
51.
51 down to 22.
you came up with 29 cents for that extra.
For that extra, that's for the guy and the fact that we would have to buy a new police vehicle.
Is that vehicle cost spread over 3 years, or is that all in the first year?
No, first year, Jack.
We bought it, yeah, we bought the last one straight up.
So the second and third years would be
Second and
by
third.
4 or 5 cents.
Yeah.
Right.
Who insures that vehicle?
They do. Until it comes back to us, and we do it.
And it's pretty substantial saving. I have to wonder if I don't think we're in the middle of a crime infested community, I really kind of wonder, do we really need a second vehicle and a second officer?
That's gonna be a big discussion at town meeting.
Sure is.
Because somebody's,
I'm looking at down the future, right, we're talking about down hall,
Yeah.
we gotta keep that in our mind, cause that's gonna be,
It's gonna be a big,
obviously, we can spread that across a whole lot more, but
Yeah.
it's still gonna be an expense.
And then there's, thing is, we're also looking at, the marijuana that's been, the state's put on, hold for a year. When that comes around, I'm just afraid,
What are you thinking?
well, I'm just thinking, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, less police, because it's all gonna be legal at that point.
that's a good way to look at it.
That was, I mean, that's what some of the police officers and chiefs spoke about. Right. We don't wanna prosecute, we don't wanna arrest people for marijuana, it's wasting our time, we don't need the officers. True or not, but that was the argument.
It's the other end of the spectrum, though, like, I mean, now we got these cottages that are bringing thousands more people in, you know? Which we're gonna start capturing revenue starting next year, right?
Where we captured it this year, and we've captured the last, this past year and this year coming up. So,
What, 5?
but we're spending it about as fast as we get it in, too, right now, so that money is not, you're capturing some of the value though, because the way the tip was set up, some of that new value does come on the tax bills.
How many are sold?
Oh, jeez.
You know?
It's 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty,
Wow,
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
the thing is on
What's
this,
the number to be built in the first phase?
well, 100.
I thought it was more than that. I thought it was 208.
250 something.
Oh,
Yeah, it's 240, 250.
yeah, I thought it was.
What was that for now?
These are cottages.
how many?
Oh, first phase.
Yeah.
So the first, for the full is 240, something.
Yeah, right around 250.
The issue is that this will be a special warrant article, and you as respective boards are gonna have to make a decision, because it's a money article, you're gonna have to vote one way or the other, whether you're gonna support it or not support it. So I'm not sure if you're prepared for that. I did reach out to the sheriff and chief deputy to to upgrade the statistics, specifically on Rundle, so you could take a look at that stuff, if that is something that you need to do before you make your decision.
Probably should have more.
That and, is that gonna be a year-to-year comparison also?
I'm not quite sure how they break it down statistically in their information. They provided us a bunch of stuff, and somebody at the, if it wasn't the last meeting, the meeting before, asked to have that updated, to see where we are, what the status is, and if anything's changed. So,
I'd just like to see a year-to-year comparison for over the past 4 or 5 years. You know,
I think they do
Is there-
provide, I'll have to look at the town report, I think they do provide some sort of report that appears in the, it gives you arrests and speeding convictions and that kind of thing.
I know, but I don't think that it's been a year-to-year comparison. I think they break it down as like a Rundle, and then they kind of lay out some of the other communities, local communities, as a comparison for that time, same time period.
Snapshot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the article in the Journal Tribune today, the crime and benefits.
Yeah, right on the front page. But somebody at
I
town
haven't
meeting
read
is,
it, but.
somebody at town meeting is gonna stand up and say,
That special crime unit, and that's all they do, concentrate on crime, and that's made a big difference down there.
somebody at town meeting is gonna stand up and say that they don't agree with having a second deputy because they never see the first one anyway. And then somebody else on the other side of the room is gonna agree with them, and then you've got this little group over here that's saying, yeah, why do we have to spend all that money when we never see an officer?
Well, you know, I don't know how to, you know, we'll have the sheriff and the chief deputy there, they can sort of field those questions, but, you know, primarily, when does crime happen? You know, that's the discussions I've had with Tom, Barron, the deputy chief deputy up there, is that I want our officers on board when your statistics show that we're having the most problems. And that may be in the evening, and maybe early evening, and things like that, so that's why people aren't generally seeing them. It's-
Oh, I see.
And then let it be shown that whether we really need the increase, if we were to adjust our schedule, do we really need to add an extra one?
Correct.
We just shifted his hours, maybe we,
Correct. I agree, and the sheriff's group has been very receptive. If we've had special events going on, one that comes to mind when the Historical Society has it, we let them know when their event's gonna be, so we try to have a presence around there so people can see the officer and that kind of thing, so.
I'm of the view that it would be partially preventative as well as covering more time. That simply by preventing crimes, particularly drug-related crimes in our town, people are gonna go elsewhere to make their transactions. And, do you really want them happening in the driveways of our town, and the streets of our town? I can tell you about one that happened last Friday night, but I really don't want to go into personal details. But it happened right here in town. The transaction
I'm sure that's not
didn't
the only
happen.
one.
Pardon?
Probably not the only one.
Oh, well, they just moved elsewhere. You know, maybe it's in the same town, or maybe it's a preventative, driving people out that you really don't want here. But it costs, no question about it.
Keep in mind, the county is supposed to be supplying us with coverage when our guy is off duty, and we're paying for that.
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
sure.
But that's spread out over 3 or 4 other towns.
Sure, I mean, but we could be without a deputy completely, as several other towns in this county are,
Yeah.
and relying upon the sheriff for coverage.
And
But
it-
getting a deputy here kind of helps the sheriff out in terms of
well,
not having to schedule guys.
Yeah, and when there are emergencies elsewhere, that individual's gonna be in the car and gone.
Well, so will our guy be if it's.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, if they have you're right, Tom, if they have if he's on duty here and they have a real problem someplace else, he's going. He's not staying here,
Yeah.
he's gonna go to that.
And his jurisdiction is countywide.
Right.
Correct.
But, you know, our county's 1,000 square miles. The sheriff's department covers half of that.
I know.
In any given shift, there's about 3 deputies covering 500 square miles. Depending on where they are, they can't respond very fast.
That's why they put more deputies on, get the cost of those deputies spread out on all the towns in the county.
Oh.
You know, has anybody seen any evidence of such a crime increase in Arundel, be it drugs or anything else, that basically calls for us to double up on the police coverage? I mean, I'm sure we have an occasional drug trade that goes on, I'm sure there's stuff, you know, that does happen. Has anybody seen any evidence of a real upward trend that, you know?
no, I think what we just discussed it, I think it was a matter of shifting the times when the guy's here. You shift the times and, you know, as you said, it's times when it's happening, but the guy's not to be found because he worked, you know, cushy hours from 8 to 5 or whatever. I mean, I'm not saying that he's working cushy hours, but that's what his schedule is, you know? Rather than say, you know, start at noon and go to 8, then you overlap and you're into more of the hours when that, you know, the dark hours when that things are gonna happen. Crime happens in the dark, I mean, obviously,
That's
there's no
right.
doubt about it, so.
I think the major thing we face is speeding. I mean, I can stand out in front of my house every day and watch 99 out of 100 cars are going over 35. Most of them are going over 45.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Not me.
Our deputy
I'm usually 10.
is the one person
Yeah, yeah, right.
in town
So you're
that
the
knows
jerk
Tailgate,
what
yeah.
times of day there's trouble and what times there isn't. And isn't he supposed to be regulating his hours to deal with the most troublesome times?
Well, he doesn't have control over his shift hours. He has to go through his shift commander like he would any place else. But if he observes something, and these are the conversations I've had with the chief deputy, if we see something, we say, we want a bigger presence here, they will shift his hours to accommodate that change if we see something that more activity is happening and we need more of a presence. So we do have that flexibility. We can
He does that on the
request it when we need it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
for those folks that, as Donna said at town meeting, that say they don't see the deputy around town, put him in one of our dump trucks, and you'll see him.
Yeah.
He is everywhere.
Yeah.
He's everywhere, back road, dead end road.
I've seen him everywhere too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
he's out there. I see him all the time.
Just following you around, Phil.
Yeah.
Trying to get you, that's right. Waiting for you to make a mistake.
Yeah, wait for me to make a deal.
I think it's really, I don't know how you guys are
Tailing the
gonna
wrong
vote
guy.
on this, but this actually just comes down to, is this a service that you wanna provide? I mean, we can sit here, we can debate the statistics, and the bottom line is, are we ready to provide that additional service? And if we do, this is the cost for it.
But given that, we don't really have those numbers then, because like Belmont said, you're gonna have people that stand up and say they never see him. And other people, like Phil just said, he sees them all the
Sees them all the
time.
time.
So, people, how do you do that? How do you, and to the people, I'd argue to the people that you see, that don't see him, well, he's there, maybe he is there at night when they're asleep in their beds and he's out, so if that's the case, but show me that, statistically show me that, and then if there's a reason that he says, I need the coverage because we don't have enough coverage for these guys listening, then that's fine, and I would agree to that, but if it's just to add another man for no reason other than to add another man for no apparent statistical reason, then I don't agree with that. I'm not,
When he's on the River Road, he is making stops for speeding, one right after the other.
I'm sure, but if he does that, let's say he does that for a week at a time,
Yeah.
for the next 6 months, everything's calm, you know what I mean, and then he can move on, you know what I mean, but that, you can statistically show that happens, you know.
Well, no, he's on the
Biddeford
River
PD does
Road.
the same thing on that Route 111 by
Yeah.
by crossings there, and all of a sudden, everybody slows down for 6 months, and then they get right back at it again.
But that also means he's working the daytime. You
Yeah.
don't see him.
I see.
And that means
And that
there
means
is
if he's
nobody there
on the
at
River
night.
Road, you can speed on the limit road, so you're all set. Yeah.
But,
I called Belmont and I say, is he over your way? She said, yeah. Shoot, right down the river.
but Jack, my argument to that is that was a benefit though. But that was a benefit because he stopped some speeders and slowed down.
Oh, sure.
And statistically show me that, okay, when he wasn't there those nights, we had X number of crimes. We're not seeing that numbers. I want to see some numbers, or at least they gotta have something to tell us. What's the
Crimes
number of
other than
times they get
speeding.
called here and what time of day it is and why.
I'm certainly hearing you loud and clear. I think you're resonating with the rest. We'll try to get some more statistical information
Convince the people
for
of
you
that.
to,
Over a 3-year period.
okay.
Yeah, give us.
I think it's important for them if they, they're the ones that have sort of put the bug in our ear that they think we need it. Now they gotta prove it to us.
Well, is
So
there
I'll
any
explain.
way we can put a bug in the county's ear that we'd like to see the county up the sheriff's budget so that he can put a few more people on and have the cost spread between all the towns in your county, rather than us footing the bill for
Somebody else's
$135,000
Well,
worth of
Do
stuff.
we really, maybe we only need 1.5, and then maybe we share that, he finds out somebody else to take the other half.
We tried that. I did send that out to him. There was nobody close enough that wanted to go half. So, I think
But
everybody.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a half, it could just be a guy that's assigned for certain hours of the week based on our statistical, and it's only half the time.
Or even if we don't go that far, I don't know how many sheriff's deputies there are in your county, but let's say for talking purposes, there's 15. If the county budget could afford to bump that up by 3 or 4 guys, It doesn't do wonders for us, but we might get a little more coverage from the county without us having to put an additional $135,000 worth of
I
expense.
can speak to that. The budget is driven by all 29 towns in the county, and 13 or 14 of the towns, the larger towns, all have their own police departments.
So they don't like that.
And they're not excited about paying for the sheriff's deputies. They do, and they pay a hell of a lot of money, but they're grudgingly. And so trying to get it pushed through at the county level is almost
Tough
impossible,
call.
unfortunately. And the county commissioners are very sensitive to what the managers in the larger towns say. So,
Okay.
we're between a rock and a hard place, that's all. I mentioned before too, about, and I don't know if we did any research on it, about trying to get the state police to have a little more presence in Arundel. Have we tried that?
I did reach out to them,
Yeah.
I haven't heard
That didn't
a
happen.
zip up.
Didn't work out.
But I did, I remember you asking, and I actually reached out to them.
I see them a lot on 111, so.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
did.
yeah.
They travel 111 a lot.
Yeah. And I know we have a couple that live on Thompson Road, whether they're,
Yeah.
you know, whether
Yeah.
that's there.
And there's 2 or 3 that live in Dayton on 35. And
Right off of
they're already, they're contracted with Lyman, I think.
Well, they work in conjunction with the sheriff's
Yeah, I know.
officers and cover their geographic area on a given shift for a month. And that increases or reduces the area that the deputies have to cover. So they're helping
Yeah.
to some extent.
We don't see, I don't see very many state police cruisers in Arundel. On 111, they're everywhere,
Yeah.
all day long, but in all our rural roads, I don't see them very much.
I
No.
think they're probably there if they're responding for assistance or,
Yeah.
sorry, that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, you see
I
them in
think
an
they're on
accident
patrol.
or whatever, but just to do patrol, I don't see them much.
No, they're assigned in other areas and sheriffs.
It's late, but I'm seeing it in the morning all the
Oh,
time.
yeah, I've seen them.
Just cruising down 111.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, we see
Not
it.
going anywhere.
Yeah.
Looking for you.
Thank God I'm only on one level for a mile and a half.
Well, they're looking for you, they're leaving us alone.
I was kind of wondering since, you know, until we have some numbers and stuff from the sheriff's department. Just kind of like leave it up to the town, both groups, have no recommendation. Go to Cal.
Well, we still got some, we still
I
have
mean,
some
if you
time
ask
to
me,
move
if you
forward.
ask me to give a recommendation tonight, I'm gonna say, without the numbers, I'm gonna say, I would say no.
I got you.
Give me the numbers and, you know, so then, that being said, reach out to them and say, that's the, you know, the way we're leaning, and then see if they'll come through with something for us.
Yeah.
Because usually, I think the past few years, they wait till provide the information until way at town meeting. They hand it out to everybody as it comes through.
Well,
But they
I-
aren't
I-
longitudinal.
They're
I
asking
think
us
it's,
to-
I think it's really important for them to provide that information because if these two boards respectfully put no on there.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That's not gonna be hard, it's gonna be very hard for them to defeat that no vote
Exactly.
at the town meeting, so,
It's in their best interest.
yeah.
Now,
So,
let's say what we voted, how we voted.
right, and they're gonna ask you point blank anyway.
It will be, if we say a no recommendation, there's gonna be some complaint.
Well, yeah, but
There's
it's
gonna be some folks that are gonna say, you know, I mean, for a initiative by the residences where we would normally not, but this is part of our budget, and it, you know, although this was a recommendation from some residences.
Yes, it was. And they sort of, I thought we did a straw poll or something,
Doesn't matter.
and there was a strong support to at least consider it.
I mean, they have a budget process just like we do, and that's why it's important for us to give them the information. If not, it's an uphill battle for them to fight it at the town meeting.
I agree.
You know, I mean, because I can't.
You'll get a call tomorrow.
So,
Next meeting?
I would say in 2 weeks.
I guess I'll do a business item, I just kind of go to the group here. You know, we talked a little bit about, town hall. I think we should be looking at, throw some numbers, and what's that gonna cost us? Try to get some numbers on, if we decide to go, you know, with the land purchase, town hall, you know, what's that gonna look like, assuming that we have a flat budget? I think we ought to be putting some sort of numbers together to get some rough idea, like a planning process, right? We've asked for a 5-year capital from some of the departments, and I think we ought to be looking at, we know that's gonna be a big expense on the road. But I think we ought to be looking at some rough idea of what that's gonna cost.
I have them in the office. I have those numbers, so yeah, I can share them with you.
I'd like to get another drawing, because I felt as if there was money to be saved on that first initial building concept. That was just a big building.
8,000 square foot building,
That
yeah.
to me just seems huge. I think we can save some money designing that a little different.
Well, I don't, yeah,
I know it's early in the game for that, but.
right. I think, you know.
We gotta throw some numbers at what a building is, I think that was like.
Yeah, and that's why I
2
use,
at the time.
yeah, I used the 8,000 square foot, and I put a square foot cost to
Yeah.
it, and then came up with a number, and then went through the main, yeah, the main bond bank.
Yep.
We got a number of how much it would be for 10 or 20 year float bonds, so you have that, and then we can plug that in, so we can get what impact that would be on the tax rate. So that's very general information.
No, but we gotta start somewhere,
Yeah.
right? We gotta start putting it in people's minds, you know, and,
People are already asking.
yeah, people are asking, you know, we're bringing it up more at our meetings now, and it, soon there's gonna be stuff that's gonna be coming out public here, so.
All right, well, I'll put together a report and share it with you at your meeting in 2 weeks, so you have it.
Give us worst case.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
Jason's point, maybe we can save some money. but
Oh, yeah.
I don't want,
Oh, we definitely get it there.
yeah.
Okay.
You know, if we put a building up, we wanna, I think we wanna make sure that we don't build it for the size of the town today.
We don't wanna do a fire station.
5 or 10
Yeah.
years down the road, we decide, oh man, that building's half as big as we really need. The town's gonna grow.
Yeah, that's why we went with the 8,000 square foot, right? Because I think at one time it was a little bit smaller than we have.
It was about 7,200, you guys bumped it to 8.
Yeah, but.
It was a public meeting room.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Dayton's already saying that their public meeting room isn't big enough. They said that's the one thing, when they did it, they weren't forward thinking enough. And their selectmen's room, public meeting room isn't big enough.
Yeah, then you can move around.
Yeah.
For some of you who may not know yet, the Conservation Trust that we were trying to form became official Saturday. We were accepted by the Kennebunkport Conservation Trust. We're now an official 501c3. And so we're all working together here to acquire the whole property. And
Well, you're under their umbrella of a 501c3, correct?
pardon?
You're under their umbrella of a 501c3.
Yes.
You're not a separate.
No,
Correct.
no.
All right.
They were division off.
That
Correct.
speeded the process by
Right, yeah,
a lot of time.
yeah,
They're the Arundel Conservation Trust, a division of the
correct,
Kennebunkport
okay,
Conservation.
And so now we
Yeah.
can really work together on identifying what land needs are and coming up with a plan.
Are we anywhere close to land acquisition? We're not trying to get into any secrets you guys might have
No,
in
I
your
think
executive sessions, but are we getting any closer to nailing this down?
Getting closer.
Yep. Yes.
Much closer.
Got attorneys involved.
Yeah,
Oh.
we're working on, purchase of
That does
sale.
something, right?
yeah.
Not good.
Somebody's making money.
I'm not sure if that speeds up or slows down the process.
What's the date in 2
Come on,
weeks?
John, there's some money in there.
March 15th.
15.
What's, have you plugged in any numbers at all yet from the RSU? Right, what are you using
using last year's numbers.
Right, we have nothing from them yet.
Yeah, and you've been attending some of the meetings,
And
right?
there's one tomorrow morning at 7:30.
All right, I'm just kinda curious as to where they are from.
Yeah.
I know they were
They're-
talking about some increases because of the lack of funding for.
Well, this is the year that your first big payment is due on the bond, so that's going to,
There's that, and then the state has pulled funding for like, the Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
we're talking-
MLTI.
yeah, we're
program.
talking to technology tomorrow, to see what's
The
going
numbers
on
I've been, the numbers I've been throwing around assume that we're gonna see about a $7 million increase in property valuation. That we have a couple of $100,000 to kick in from the fund balance. But our homestead exemptions are unchanged. But our business equipment tax exemption is unchanged. And that our TIF financing is unchanged. So there could be some real differences in those, but, you know, until we get the numbers, that's about all we got to work with.
I would be willing to give you a guesstimate on our receiving.
We'll get
Yeah, yeah. I'd suggest 5 to 6% total. 2.5 to 3 on operating increases, about 3 on the new debt. So 5 to 6%. Plug those numbers in, and you'll be in the ballpark, I think.
Jack, when you say new debt, you're talking about different debt than
No, this is the first big.
payment, okay.
We have little tiny one
Yeah, I know.
this year, big one, the largest of the three.
Right.
Then a smaller one, and then there's a tiny one. So, yeah, it'll be a substantial number.
We knew the debt was definitely gonna be substantial.
So you'd be looking at maybe another $272,000 to us?
another 170 to 200,000,
I said 272.
272,
Yeah.
another 272,000.
6%.
Yeah, at 6%. So that's what, 50 cents?
Well, we figured on, on the police deal,
100,000.
we were figuring 135,000 saved us 29 cents, so we're roughly doubling that, so probably pretty close to 60 cents.
Right. So once we get that number, we can plug that in and take a look at that as well.
Okay. Next date, I'm assuming,
I
go
don't
in 2
think we're gonna
weeks,
have a, I
on
don't
March
think we're gonna have a
15th.
40-minute town meeting this year.
March 15th.
Okay,
And you'll just give us some revised numbers for the March
Yep.
15th.
I'll put the revised numbers together, I'll reach out to the,
See if they can come the 15th, Chair.
yeah, I can ask them to. See what
Line
we
number
do.
for the fire department?
Yeah, try to finalize those numbers for the fire department
You
and,
want me to try to get you numbers on roof and siding?
yeah, so I can put them in for planning purposes.
Yeah, that should
It's
be.
not something that we'll build into the budget this year.
Oh, no.
But that should be in this plan.
Right.
And then also the salaries, 2016 salaries versus this year's
Yep.
salaries.
if I could ask one quick question before we adjourn. When we had the vote on the library, we had 4 against giving 14,000, I think it was Dan,
Yeah.
Velma, Paul, Michelle. I move we adjourn.
Oh, I got a motion that we adjourn for this evening. I got a second. All those in favor of adjourning?
Yeah.
All those that want to stay here? All right, thank you very much, everyone.
See you, Michelle.
Have a good night. Yeah. So you think I'll
Season.
be safe in getting?
I'm getting there, probably about another
And
2 weeks. I'll
hold
start.
on to it until maybe Saturday to
Right
see
back
what's
up.
going on?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, Candace's thing tonight, so she's not playing until about 10 o'clock or so.
Okay.
Jason, but
Here, all the records.
Try it. Get work together.
Okay.
On the fire station, do the right
Yeah.
Could work.
Yeah. Oh,
So
no.
still, I bet.
The roof design.
Can they make them aesthetically pleasing?
Yeah, I would, on there, I would say like a seamless, you know, don't do that standing seam,
Yeah.
be a
This
little bit
is
of money
for
up
what?
front, but you're getting a 50-year warranty on the roof.
For the fire station.
Oh,
Yeah, you just lay it up on top of what you got.
Well,
then they drill holes in it.
I don't agree with that, but
Solar
some guys
panels.
do it.
Well, for a metal roof, I mean,
Leach
if
back
it
there.
was shingles is one thing, I mean, some people do that too, but.
You're asking for trouble.
So you really have to strip it and
I
then
think
go
so.
right from there.
Yeah.
Do you put some sort of,
That's, you'll have plywood
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
underneath the, so
You
you'd
put-
wanna strap it
yeah.
to
You
create
put
that
any bitumen
airspace.
or anything on the?
Just
on
felt
the-
paper is fine.
That's not,
Do ice and water in your valleys, no bitumen in valleys.
You say no picture thing?
Yes, just in the valleys and the, on the metal roof. Felt paper.
Oh, on the metal.
Right.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh, and that's